Okay, welcome back. Jay Bala of CashTheChaos.com is now joining us. Jay, good to have you with us here. Good afternoon. I remember last week you were saying that before anything happens, we will get a bounce, 300-400 point bounce, I think, so meaningful one. We have that, right? With what we're seeing today, we've kind of recouped all that we lost and a little bit more from yesterday. What's the road ahead?
Yeah, as I said 2 weeks back, see what we saw in September, October is just a preamble to a larger decline. And for that, the necessity condition was a bounce back. So that's what is happening. The resistance for Nifty comes at about 19,780 to 19,888. So, there's a little bit of, a residual bounce probably left for this move. And then we're probably going to see a very sharp decline for the markets come through. And that's probably going to take the Nifty down towards 18,500 at a minimum. So, make use of this rally and, stick to select pockets and avoid leveraged longs.
Okay, all right. Hi, Jay. Good afternoon. Just as the bulls were punching the air and saying maybe Jay is going to be talking about a breakout moment, you spoke about 18,050. So we take that on board on the Nifty. But what about the Nifty Bank? Today, after a while, it's showing some signs of, bouncing back. And after a while, it's outperforming the Nifty as well. What are the levels you're looking at on the Nifty Bank? Because that's going to be the key mover.
That's right, Nigel. Have you seen the movie Hunt for Red October? It's a classic, Tom Clancy's Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin. It's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen that, see that, because that's what is happening for the Bank Nifty. There's a hunt for Red October. The banking index hasn't had a negative close in October for the last 10 years. The last time it closed in red was in 2012. The avoiding the monthly close being red for Bank Nifty isn't big deal because it's just 200 points away from a monthly positive close. So, but the key supports for the banking index come at about 43,750 to 42,500. So, the relative weakness is coming from private sector banks. If public sector bank starts to cave in, I think we'll have a red October for the banking index.
Jay, afternoon. You want to take us through your call on some individual stocks where there is an opportunity to trade?
Yeah, I'm coming with one short call and one long. And Sun TV has got a completed move from April of this year. So it's a 5-step move. So it's due for a correction. So place a stop above 639 and expect Sun TV to drop about 560. If it exceeds 560, probably it's going to transform into a bigger correction. And Nifty Auto Index in particular and specific stock escorts is looking decent on the charts. Stop below 3060 and a potential for 4,000 is there. I also like Dalmia Bharat at the moment, but the targets are quite high. But I don't know, if I'm anticipating the market to drop quite sharply, I don't know how it will work out. But, a stop potential of about 2198 and probably, Dalmia Bharat, I'd say my projections come to about 2700. I don't think that's going to be possible, but, it's out there.
Okay. Those are some cement stocks on the radar. Jay, tell us a little bit about IT, because from an event perspective, and that's the next thing the market is walking into. So what are these frontline Indian IT charts telling you, TCS, Infosys? I mean, anything interesting worth noting?
Yeah, TCS in particular has been slightly better off than Infosys, and but today's price action is saying that if TCS were to drop below 3450, that will be a warning sign for the medium term, because this is carrying the elements of a completed move from the April low to where it is now. So we don't want to see TCS drop below 3450 because TCS is relatively stronger than Infosys, and Infosys Wipro are much weaker within the sector. So if this particular stock drops below 3450, that can have a bearing on the whole sector. And as it is, the move for the Nifty IT index is looking corrective rather than start up a new trend.
By the way, Jay, any updated views on oil? Because I think from 98 we've fallen to 86, now around 88. Any thoughts?
Yeah, see, my premise has been that Brent is going to tank along with equity markets, and that this seems to be the start of it. But if we see Brent take out the highs of October, somewhere about 97. I think that's a very dangerous situation, and I don't like it, and I'm not prepared for it. But if that happens, we're going to see a very, very huge rally come through for Brent, somewhere about 200 plus. That's anyway on the cards, but that's for something in 2024-25. But if Brent were to take out 97, we are looking at a immediate move to much higher levels.
Sorry, if Brent takes out 97, then it's headed to
250 plus, but that's a long-term call, not a short-term call. Okay. But it'll be an 18-month move, probably a 12-month move. We don't know, but time is approximate. But it'll probably mark the low it's registered about 60 odds as the beginning of the move towards $250.
All right, Jay, what about from the metals space? What are you looking at out there? Copper is something you track, I think?
Yeah, copper is looking particularly weak. It last week came within a whisker of its 2023 low. My medium-term projection has been that copper will drop below the 2022 low and head towards somewhere about 2.7 on high-grade copper on the COMEX index. So COMEX exchange. So I'm negative on copper, and I think this is the start of an accelerated phase of decline for copper.
By the way, we got a big move on the real estate index, Jay, about 4% move here. Any thoughts?
Yeah, this is one of the positive sector, along with probably pharma. Pharma is just languishing at the moment, but this has got potential to scale about 643, 650, about 5 to 6% from now. But that will be a decision point, crossroads for me, because most of the constituents within the sector are showing losing momentum. So this doesn't seem to be, an expanding move, rather than it seems to be an exhausting move. So watch out for what the index does around 643. That's going to be crucial. Watch out for topping signs. If we get topping signs, it's better to get out. But until that point, hold on to the stocks and be long.
What about something like Reliance Industries? It's been a big underperformer since its 52-week high that it hit in July. The stock has corrected 19.5%.
Yeah, that's right. This has been my primary view that, Reliance would negatively consolidate between 2100 and 2400, and it's doing that. It's due for a short-term bounce. Probably, if the Nifty were to hit somewhere close to 1988, that's the maximum potential for this counter-trend bounce. Probably Reliance is going to give a little bit of lift from here and hit somewhere towards 2400, 2420.
Jay, we'll leave the conversation here. Thank you very much for joining in, counting down to the close, a positive close.